God blesses you. God blesses you. God is so good. God blesses you.
Welcome to our podcast. This is Unity Church of Chatsworth, California. Our senior minister is the Reverend John Washington, and I am Michelle Washington, RN, pastoral nurse. Thank you for joining us.
May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord. From 1 Samuel chapter 8, the New International Version. When Samuel grew old, he appointed his sons as Israel's leaders. But his sons did not follow his ways. They turned aside for dishonest gain and accepted bribes and perverted justice. So all the elders of Israel gathered together and came to Samuel at Ramah. They said to him, "You are old, and your sons do not follow your ways. Now appoint a king to lead us, such as all the other nations have." When we consider Saul, his leadership style included
Might. Because Saul being the first king, as I understand
a military leader.
He was brought on to lead the armies so that the Israelites could defend themselves against their neighbors. So they were looking for a strong, mighty military leader, and Saul fulfilled that. So might is his legacy, we can say.
All right. And the second king
was David,
King David.
We know that David was a poet, and he was
a musician too. He played the lyre, yes, I believe.
And his signature legacy was love.
All right. And our third king
was Solomon, who is the one that I'm really the most familiar with.
Right.
And Solomon, of course, was the leader who was known for his wisdom, who prayed for understanding.
The wisdom of Solomon.
Yes.
All right. Those, again, leaders remind us that we have a choice.
Yes.
For example, and certainly, as we are also talking about our contemporary events, we started out with the fact that it was in the scripture, in fact. The statement was that when Samuel made a choice after he decided, I'm going to say to step away or to retire.
Yes.
He decided to select his own sons. And the sons were what? Maybe not as
well, let's say that the sons
ethical?
Possibly weren't as honest and ethical as Samuel, and the leaders of the tribes, or the leaders of the groups, the elders,
yes,
of the Israelites, came to Samuel and said, "Hey, your sons are just not following in your footsteps. They're not doing it in the spiritual way that we anticipate, and so we need something else, and we want a king." and
we have that parallel or comparison today, Michelle, as we're all asking who is or who will be our leader, our ethical leader, our leader who will include and honor everyone.
Thank you for listening to our podcast.